Greetings and welcome everybody to the Jane Mackenzie 365 Healthy by Choice Quantum Medicine Center lectures. I'm here on a Tuesday to talk about a wide variety of subjects, all pertaining and involved in the quantum field, quantum medical field. I've got my hat on today. I'll be explaining a little bit later, but there's a reason for this. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about weight loss and fat go, and this can relate to extremely thin people and also extremely overweight large people too. Very important topic because if our body is our temple, we need to do whatever we can be doing to preserve our body and make sure that it is operating at maximum potential. What we eat affects how we think, and it affects what we do. So very important to bear that in mind. And, also we need to have a look at some of the factors that I mentioned in the adverts, which have got to do with lifestyle, toxicity, the hidden emotions, stress, and the foods that are good for us. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that, and weight loss, fat go, you can talk for a day probably on it, but really it boils down to really a couple of things. And, I'm personally also a case study, so I know, what works and how the body works. There's a couple of things that might just resist the weight loss in the beginning, but we've got to push through. We have people on a daily basis coming in, and, the weight loss or the fat go is almost a side effect of what they're coming in for. And it will happen anyway as you detoxify. So that's why we say weight loss. Weight loss is about losing toxicity, losing the toxins, losing the fat, losing the excess proteins, losing the chemical toxins, environmental toxins, etc., that build up in the body. So we are going to be very introspective today and just, tick the boxes and see the ones that stick out for us. How we live today is not exemplary in terms of keeping our bodies trim and fit and strong in order for us to carry out our work as earth dwellers, to fulfill our purpose and things like that, because of the pace of the world today, because of the food and the quality of the food that we eat, when we eat our food, who we eat our food with. Are we breathing? Are we taking in sufficient oxygen? Are we hydrating ourselves properly? Are we drinking when we're eating? Because that's a disaster. That just dilutes all the enzymes that have been secreted. It dilutes the hydrochloric acid, and we do not get proper digestion. When you don't get proper digestion, you're definitely going to have poor absorption, and you're going to have fermentation in the gut and worms. And these worms and parasites will bore their way through the intestinal wall into the blood, making a mess of the blood and basically traveling to places in the body that they should never be. And the large pieces of undigested food also enter through the holes in the intestine, the leaky gut, in other words, and pollute the blood even further, and we get further parasite growth. So very, very important that, number one, the oxygen gets to the cell properly through the lungs, and number two, the food gets through to the cell properly. And some people go to very, very extreme measures to lose weight, including liposuction, including stapling the stomach, half the stomach away, and this is not really a cure at all, because underneath it all, 9 times out of 10 is a hidden emotion. We've got to get there, and it's not always an emotion that's here and now, right now. There may be patterns playing out, but we've got to dig deeper into the genetics, and not only the epigenetics. We've got to dig deeper into the whole family orientation of the person and look at the history there. And what are we holding, knowing consciously or subconsciously? We're going to be holding emotions, as I said, that we're not even aware of. And often these are related to weight. You can see families that are overweight, for example, and the parents are overweight and the grandparents were overweight, all seeming to hold a similar emotion about something that went terribly wrong somewhere. And, a mental construct was built up. And, comfort was found in eating and eating and eating and eating. So we've got to digest what I'm saying properly and, start dissecting it, and bringing in, the vital factors. And I mean, really, we can wrap this up quite quickly because we've got to exercise. The body needs to exercise. It needs to move. Most of us are sedentary most of the day. Most of us are behind a laptop or a cell phone most of the day. And that's not conducive at all to maximize functioning of the body, let alone, weight release and fat go. So what happens is the food is eaten in front of the laptop, in the car, in the transport, in front with the cell phone on. We're not in the present. We're not nurturing our soul. So food is, apart from giving us energy, it's also nurturing our soul. So we need to be extremely present when we're eating and know what we're eating, and our choice of food is important. So when and how we eat is very important. What we eat is very important. In my experience, if you want to lose weight, these are the things you need to do. You need to eat raw food. Raw food enables the minerals and vitamins, the proteins, long-chain sugars, phytosterols, etc. to get absorbed. I've seen it every single time. We measure it with the quantum software. This is how we get absorption, through raw food. Raw food carries no oil, heated oil with it. It contains no extra salt with it. It is raw as nature intended. And we can live on this. I just say people who are on cooked food need supplements. And good luck, then they actually need nutrients, but most of them are living off synthetic supplements. So, be that as it may, it's a never ending catch-22 there because you don't come right. So, too much cooked food is a massive disaster. And it also is difficult for the body to extract the minerals and to digest properly and eliminate. So often, there's toxicity related to poor digestion, then it hangs around in the body. And if it's protein, of course, it blocks the lymphatic system, it blocks the kidneys. So, very, very important. So what am I saying? I'm saying raw plant-based because 90% of the time it's a no-brainer and it's foolproof. So get onto the raw food as quickly as possible. Change some of those heated cooked protein, animal proteins for plant-based proteins. I'm talking about the spirulinas of the world, the chlorellas, blue-green algae, such as the algae mix from 365 Healthy by Choice, the medicinal mushrooms. We've got 6 of them: the chaga, shiitake, maitake, cordyceps, lion's mane, reishi in the mushroom mix. These are all essential proteins. They have all 18 of them. The bee pollen, propolis, raw jelly mix. It's got all 18 of the essential amino acids readily available, readily absorbed. No remnants left. If you took a spoon of, let's say, minced chicken, and you took a spoon of spirulina is 70% dry weight protein. Then you cook the minced chicken. Only 10 to 20% is available. The remainder, the 80-90%, gets stored and the body battles to eliminate it, and the protein gets lodged inside the cells and in the kidneys and the lymphatic especially. So there's an argument for this. I'm just giving you today, your choice is yours, how to do it. And I'm going to share with you a case study of what a man did in 1 month just now. Obviously, there was a motivating factor, but he just did do it. He just listened to me. Enzymes are very, very important. We have all the products I'm mentioning now, unless I tell you, are available on the 365 Healthy by Choice website. And we've got some unbelievable Black Friday specials on right now. So I would urge you to go and have a look on the website. Click the ad. It'll take you straight to the specials, and there's a 30% saving up until midnight tomorrow night, Wednesday, the 30th of November. So I'm speaking about a lot of these products this evening especially. So, avail yourself to these specials, and that's for our global delivery as well. So, yes, get the diet right. And raw food, plant-based food state, nutrient dense, natural nutrients are going to do it. Enzymes are going to do it. We have enzymes with betaine, often a good idea, because with stress, the hydrochloric acid isn't coming out as strongly as it should either. It's not being called on because the body's blocked. So liver, blood, hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal are blocked. So the hormones to direct the body to secrete enzymes and hydrochloric acid are there, but they're not being called on, if you get my point. So enzymes in the short term and in the beginning are very, very important to digest this food and clear the gut. So, various places where there's fat on can be midriff weight, which is dangerous weight, hips, thighs, and everywhere else. So get that right, get the enzymes in, get a good probiotic for the gut. So the gut's got to be operating optimally so that we're not festering and harboring parasites and flukes and things like that. The absorption must be optimum. And a good probiotic is good for that, like the microbiome reset. It's got 80 to 120 live strains plus enzymes. The hydrolase enzyme, the oxygenase enzymes as well are really important for also oxygen and water absorption, which I'm going to get to. So very important that the gut works properly. And the lungs. So lungs, we've got to breathe from the diaphragm, the waist. Got to breathe down there, in and out. We need to condition our lungs. So often we see lung capacity poor. Some people can't even blow the ping pong ball up using that apparatus. So the lungs are not exercised. They're not conditioned. They're not toned. Generally, there's mucus. Generally, there's parasites lying there, pathogens, etc. And how can the oxygen get in? If we don't have oxygen, none of this is going to happen. Digestion is hardly going to happen. And we're going to run into blood sugar and blood pressure and weight on and metabolic shutdown problems. So let's bring the oxygen in, but we need to exercise. We need to walk. We need to do the alternative nostril breathing, 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day. Get it in. Start conditioning yourself. Part of the breathing is also your meditation, which is calming the sympathetic nervous system, allowing the parasympathetic nervous system to come into place, digest, absorb, and carry the food to the cell, carry the wastes away, eliminate, and keep the body in a restful state in order for those involuntary functions to happen within the body. So very important, the breathing and the exercising. Also, you're going to be using up calories. Also, you're going to be burning up the blood sugar level. Yeah. So those people who are insulin resistant, who are battling, in other words, already end stage, already have metabolic shutdown. Generally a blood sugar problem, a blood pressure problem, a weight problem, a hormonal problem. It will be thyroid. It will be pancreas, blood, diabetes. It will be digestion problem, adrenal problem, thyroid problem. So that's just, those are just symptoms of metabolic shutdown. So we've got to wait sometimes for that body to reset, and it can even be 3 months. And I've actually got a second case study I think I want to share with you on that as well. We actually, and I did do if you have a look on my YouTube channel, Jane Mackenzie, you will see a lovely webinar on lecture on insulin resistance beaten. And we did it. And to this day, this person is still has their blood sugar and insulin levels down. So these people where there's long-standing weight loss, all right, we've got to move this body, get the circulation happening, get the chi, get the prana, get the life force flowing, get the voltage and the amperages up and the resistance to flow, the toxicity going, so that the body has got enough energy to detoxify and enough energy to release this weight. So sometimes we do have to wait a while. That's true. If we're bringing in loads of oxygen, if we're bringing in the cell vitality oxyminerals and a DMSO mixture, I mean, I saw a lady today, really large. She came in and her dress was hanging like a tent. In a matter of 2 weeks, she'd done this by bringing in loads of oxygen. So we do bring the oxygen in our cells through our breathing, but also through the help of, oxygen drops, oxygen capsules. Very, very important in the initial stages to reestablish homeostasis in the body and functioning of the cells. Flaxseed oil, very important also with insulin resistance, because it will create the membrane potential for the oxygen in the food to move across and the waste and the carbon dioxide out. So flaxseed oil is important. It's cold pressed. It has enzymes for digestion. We need to can any form of heated oil, any form of heated oil, any form of heated oil. I'm telling you, that's a problem. So you need to have, certified cold pressed, no heat, no light, no air oil. And then you're eating a very, very high life force oil that's going to come in, clean the blood, start cleaning the fat out because of the enzymes, and create this potential for us. So that's already, we've talked about plant foods, we've talked about oxygen, hydration. We need to hydrate, of course, 2 to 3 liters a day, very important. Not in one go, not while we're eating. So half an hour before you eat, 2 hours after you eat, yes, liquid can come in. And now we're talking about the little bit about the insulin resistance. So we're going to wait a little bit of a while for that body to catch up, and it will. But it's no use if you're really, really overweight and trying to kid yourself you're going to go and run 10 kilometers tomorrow. That would be dangerous, actually. So step by step, as we raise the energy levels, often there's adrenal shutdown too. And we're starting to assist the adrenals in fighting the fatigue. Rest is very, very important always. And you can feel tired when you're detoxifying. So, we don't diet, we detox, if I could put it that way. And the diet, the weight falls off as a side effect, which is what you want anyway. But I'm just saying the emphasis must be on detoxification and bringing in the vital nutrients, the sunshine. So the famous story about rats inside, rats outside, same size cage, same food, same everything, except the ones in the sun were thinner, leaner, had much better muscle mass, and were happier. Same with us. So same with plants. So we do need that sunshine, definitely. The fresh air, the water, the nature, the grounding, to charge the battery, get the bare feet on the ground every morning, night, whenever, minimum of 30 minutes. While you're doing your exercising, do the yoga. The yoga poses are important. Not so much the poses, but it conditions the body to breathing. It actually builds the body. It strengthens the body to breathe. Same as Tai Chi and Qigong and those exercises. It strengthens the body to breathe. So the primary nutrient is breath. All right. And those of you who get up early in the morning, go outside, listen to the birds, do your exercises, do your breathing, are actually consuming prana. You're consuming life force and chi. You will find you are less hungry. So you're fed. If you're in the sun at appropriate times and for appropriate amounts of time and in the day, you will be fed by the sun. If you do sun gazing, you will be fed by the sun. The photons feed you. So you find you less hungry anyway. Many people are doing intermittent fasting. Great, do that. Because the theory behind that is that you put stress on the body and it starts eating all the bad things and reducing the toxicity and healing you. And then you would eat once or twice a day in between. It's not a bad thing. Most of us fast anyway between dinner and when we break the fast in the morning. We're fasting anyway. So, that's also important. It's important not to snack all the time. Because it's important to get into a rhythm. The body rhythm is important. Very important to eat before sunset, because after sunset, food becomes toxic to the body. So how many of of us do that? So you can modify and you can change and you can do that. Prepare the food earlier. You will sleep so much better. Sleep about 3 hours after you've eaten, 2 to 3 hours after you've eaten. So the food must have moved through already. You're not lying there with a huge stomach full of food. That's very, very important. And then we've talked about the oils, and then the nutrients as far as you want to bring those in. I've talked about the main ones, the medicinal mushrooms, the algae mix, the bee mix. If there's a lot of stress involved, and often there is, adaptogenic herbs are important. We have those stress adaptogens, the stress defense shield, and the brain fuel, the extreme performance boost, our anti-stress vibrance, our berry C moon booster, and our green detox alkalinizer. Those are all prepared for you. So you buy those, they're already prepared. You throw some fruit in, you throw some nuts in, you throw some of your flaxseed oil in, you put a bit of water in, or your almond milk, whatever you prefer. You whiz that up. That's the quickest fast food I know, and it's totally raw. And it's lovely. You can have it day in and day out because it's lovely. Though your body just says yes when the minerals and everything reach the tongue. So those are ways of also, meal in one and getting all the nutrients in, the quality of the nutrients. It's not the quantity, it's the quality. And then you full. If you're having salads, put your flaxseed oil on, your black seed oil on, your sauerkrauts, your miso, your pestos, your lemon juice, your Himalayan salt. Grate some of the vegetables, make yourself a beautiful platter of salad. Put some pineapple in. It's got beautiful enzymes in it to assist with digestion. And before you know it, you actually made a plate of salad too big to eat, probably twice as big as you should have made it, because of all the chewing, your body's full. All right. Those of you who say, I'm never hungry, I'm always hungry. A lot of it's a hypothalamus thing. We have to reset, and have a look all the time. So often there's calcified hypothalamus, pineal, and pituitary. A lot of that comes from heated carbohydrates, just by the way. I'm getting to carbohydrates. Just wait a minute. So, we've got to switch the body back on, not only genetically, but also physically. And the Chunkapiedra is the product that will decalcify the body. We also have a decalcification vessel cleanse, kidney cleanse, lung cleanse, brain cleanse, which is on the Black Friday special too, which is some salts, which will descale the body with the lemon juice as well. So that's very useful too. And so far as getting the old protein out, you would want to use the RNA DNA replica with the mRNA for protein metabolism. You would use your enzymes. With regards getting the oil out, I'm coming to that right now. So we will talk about the fat go and the weight loss product. I just want to talk a little bit about carbohydrates. An absolute no if you're wanting to lose weight and your lifestyle is sedentary and all the rest of it, because all they're going to do is spike the blood sugar if you don't exercise. That's a fact. So rather than go for the pumpkins, the squash, depending on your blood group, and you can lightly steam those if you want to. You can lightly steam, some other things, but they are much better foods than the complex carbohydrates. There's a place for them. They do detoxify the body, but there's an amount that you have, and when you have it, not at night, because we don't need energy like that at night. It's during the day that you would want to consume that. So I guess what I'm saying is, protein, mostly plant-based protein, and oils, definitely flaxseed oil. It has the highest life force, cold pressed. And then your raw salads, and steam some of the foods. Put lemon juice on everything because it helps with the hydrochloric acid to pull the protein apart. Put your enzymes in that will do all the cellulose-y, salady vegetables for you. And then you can also do fruit smoothies, and I would definitely add nuts to that, or seeds, because that protein will anchor the absorption of the sugar from the fruit. Not that it's anywhere as bad as normal sugar, sucrose. And then remember that the best carbohydrates, again, are found in the pollens, the medicinal mushrooms, the algae, the long-chain sugars. They're not sweet. That sugar is for the brain. So the brain is going to crave sugar until it's enough of the long-chain sugars, the blue-green algae, etc. So that's a useful tip. So, I'll take 6 capsules a day of either the medicinal mushrooms, the royal jelly propolis pollen, the blue-green algae, chlorella spirulina, in the morning with the ormus, because it's just very, very high frequency foods. And they feed me and satisfy me. So important that you know how you're going to satisfy the body. So now when we're talking about the fats, 2 of the products that I put on the Black Friday special as well are Weight Loss and Fat Go. Basic ingredients the same. The weight loss product has much, much more barley green. And you've got the green tea extracts there. You've got Garcinia Cambodia. So that product is important because that product blocks the conversion of carbohydrate to oil. Some people will sit in front of me and say, I never have oil, but I'm saying, but I can see it. I can see it in your blood. I can see it on the quantum software. I can see it on you, basically. They are stressed. And when you're stressed, carbohydrate will make oil. It doesn't matter if it's organic or not. So important to know that stress is a major factor in weight. And carbohydrates will make oil. It's a very important point there. So, we need to get in the right foods and low stress and high exercise, high oxygen, hydration, sun, nature, earthing, and that kind of thing. So in the Fat Go and the weight loss, we do have Garcinia, and we have a whole series of ingredients. You can see it on the 365 Healthy by Choice website. Just go in and search weight loss, go in and search Fat Go. And you'll get a host of very specifically designed products that I've put together that work on different levels of the pancreas, of the hypothalamus, on the blood sugar, on the absorption of fats, oils, carbohydrates. And we get a really smooth pattern coming out of that. And also, we get a reduction in the cholesterol reading. So it's actually the Fat Go and the weight loss will also reduce cholesterol, which is an unwanted fat and oil. The neutral fats will remove the triglycerides. Those mostly you get from your diet. So we can control the oil that comes in to the best of our abilities. We actually can. If you go to a restaurant, just order the salad, say no dressing. Bring me some lemon wedges and you eat. And cold pressed olive oil is a little bit suspect because of the mass production and the light in the air, that the oil is exposed to in the big drums. If they're not sealed properly, it's going to go rancid straight away, even if it says cold pressed organic. And the time that when you consume the oil, from the time that when it was pressed is very important too. So 365 Healthy by Choice, the flaxseed oil is pressed and bottled in 1 month and sent to the company in cardboard boxes, dark. No heat, no light, no air. And then when I put the people who consume this flaxseed oils, when I put their blood on under the microscope, we don't see pools of oil. We see pools of oil with that MTC coconut oil, just by the way, because of course it's heated, it's processed and heated. Nobody's telling you this, but I know it. I can't even swallow that oil. So my body tells me already it's heated. Heated butter will form pools in the blood. And that will also be around the organs and in the cells. Any heated oil, sunflower, canola, which is genetically modified, even worse. And if you're going to cook with the oil, well, you're putting it straight into the trance state. Even coconut oil, it has to be cold pressed and put onto water stir fried or steamed veggies. When the food is cooled down, dished on the plate, cooled down, you're about to eat. That's when you that's when you put your flaxseed oil on. Not while you're cooking. So coconut oil also has a place because it's got the precursors for pregnenolone, which makes the progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone. Very important oil, by the way. Again, in moderation. The other thing about just taking flaxseed oil or coconut oil, if the gallbladder is blocked, forget it. Your body's going to say, no, I don't want it. So often, I would say 80% of the time, there's a problem with the gallbladder. You do our gallbladder flush, which is also on the Black Friday, by the way. You will feel remarkable afterwards. The old blocked bile, the junk, the cholesterol, the triglycerides, the parasites, it just pours out. It pours out for a day. And then you're fine and you're wonderful. It's not like a gut cleanse, it's a liver cleanse. And you just feel amazing. Your brain is clear and it's just such a worthwhile thing to do. So get your gallbladder checked and see, get clear on that. Very important. And then the oil gets digested. So the flaxseed oil, the fat go and the weight loss, you can take 2 capsules 3 times a day. If you're taking oxygen, then avoid the fat go or the weight loss 2 hours before or after any form of oxygen, because oxygen is an oxidant, and there's a lot of antioxidants in the fat go. So there are a lot of stress defense adaptogens in there as well, and which is good also to not be stressed when you're eating. So those are fabulous products and they work in wonderful, wonderful ways. There's also Gymnema. And Gymnema, like for example, the fat go. Some people are thin, but they're loaded with fat. So it's amazing to think this, but it's true. The fat goes definitely for those people as well. So the Gymnema will rebalance and help the body build itself if the weight is too low. The Gymnema is a great one in both of those, but the weight loss has got extra barley green to really help move out unwanted weight, which is toxicity. So we have to detoxify. An infrared sauna is unbelievable. We have them at our centers because it gets the oil moving. It gets into the lymphatic system. It dissolves the oil. All the toxins come out, and your skin is feeling beautiful. The skin can work as a detox organ. And the skin can breathe. So, it's very important that the skin as an organ is clean. So we've mentioned gut, liver, lungs, skin, and the kidneys. The kidneys must be excreting the waste. The urea levels can't be high in the body. So we've got to again use the Chancapiedra and get the kidneys free of stones, and use our enzymes, our replica RNA DNA to get the protein digested so it doesn't build up. Those people who are throwing animal collagen down their throat in the hope that they're going to raise their collagen levels, well, maybe a little bit, but the damage that you're doing to your body because of undigested protein is terrible. So you're just getting further accumulation and further acidity. So to stop the calcification, you must be alkaline, and then we would use the Chancapiedra there to decalcify about 3 months. So let me tell you about the one client came to me, had been diagnosed with cancer and had gone through some chemo and radiation and was about to go and was preparing to go and harvest some stem cells, so that it was bone marrow cancer, right? So that they could replace this bone marrow in a couple of months after that. Anyway, was overweight, largely overweight, and sat down and I said, well, I think just do this. Just have raw food, have enzymes, have the RNA DNA replica, get onto the fat go, the microbiome reset, the cell oxygen, the DMSO, the flaxseed oil, the liver cleanse, and there might have been 1 or 2 other products. I said, go and exercise every day, make sure the food is raw, tell me how you do. Well, he did this. He walked 5 kilometers every day, raw smoothies, raw salads, lost 12 kilos in 1 month. Came back, we did a repeat assessment on the quantum software. It was like chalk and cheese, like a different person. It was a remote quantum assessment. So I didn't actually, the first one was in my sensor. The second one was remote. I didn't actually see the face, but the form and generally the form changes. So if it's a dark shadow there, you don't always recognize the person because the form looks so different. The body restructures completely. He went for body work. I do the same 3 times a week. I want to stay ahead of the curve insofar as toxicity is concerned. I want to have the highest life force possible for me. And whatever I do needs to be raising my energy level, not sucking my energy levels and draining me. So even the people that I speak to, I make a mental note. Hey, is this person going to raise my energy levels or not? If they're going to try and if there's a chance that my energy levels are going to be drained, I make a point of controlling the amount of time, and I get up and go and don't hang around, because life is too short. Every moment is precious, and every moment we have, we need to be maximized, enabling the body to absorb nutrients that are necessary and detox. Most important. So this man, very happy, and he's one of many. And then I was going to tell you about the insulin resistance. This man was also insulin resistant, by the way, and in 1 month he nailed it. The other one I did speak about on the insulin program that I did. He had to follow the insulin resistant program that I put out. And we had to sensitize the insulin again after 20 years of injecting. And we did it. 2.5 months we did it. This man is 70. He's not a youngster. So, I've learned, and I know the extra carbohydrates were just terrible for him. He didn't need sorghum. He didn't need oats. He didn't need wheat. He didn't need rice, because it was spiking his blood sugar to a point where the insulin wasn't enough to deal with it. So we had to drop those carbohydrates, go on to the sweet potatoes and pumpkin and stuff, carbs, and entice the insulin level to become more and more sensitive, which we did. So, anything's possible, but with both of these people I've just mentioned, I did the emotional work, I did the family orientation work, the ancestral work. We uncovered what the family secrets been, what the family's been carrying. And once that's out there, there's absolute peace, calmness, and the body's ready to heal. It's quite difficult to try and heal against emotional patterns that are ingrained. So part of the detox is also emotional detox. So, I love this kind of work. I love getting people reset, restored, rejuvenated, and to the rejoice phase. Because, they do the work. I'm just a catalyst. I'm helping. And, it's just such a pleasure to be able to do this. And, why have I got the hat on? Is because this morning I had, Indian head oil massage, and of the body too. And we used the mustard oil, which is awesome for detoxification, awesome for raising oxygen levels. And anyway, it also brings lots of circulation to the brain. And this oil stays in the hair for 24 hours. So hence the hat today. And thanks for bearing with me regarding the hat. I don't know if there are any direct questions. I just hope that, you've kept pace with me here. And if you've got any questions, let me know. But you have to be pointed and focused on where you're going. There's no doubt about it that a trained body, a trim body, a strong body supports better thinking, and more imagination, better decision making, So we do need to look after our body, which carries us. And yeah, you'll notice all sorts of things, when the weight is released, and when the toxins are released, shall I put it that way. So we don't see weight loss as a separate item. It's a holistic space. And often the body is speaking the mind, and it can be weight. It can be blood sugar, blood pressure, extreme pain, inflammation, autoimmune, it's skin. It can be, the body will speak the mind every time. So we want to get underneath that. So hope you have loved this. I did put in the chat the Black Friday, let me just see. Yes, I did. The Black Friday link. So you can click on that link, and it's going to take you to, there must be about 14 products, I think, that are now on our extended Black Friday. Due to popular demand, we extended it. And go there and see and stock up whilst the going is good. And Zeolite is another product I'd never mentioned, but it's also flattens the stomach. It just grabs all the toxins, the acids in the stomach, and helps you clean it out. So apart from its crystalline structure that aligns the crystal structure of the body, the water in the cells, outside of the cells, the DNA, it's very useful also for detoxification and flattening the stomach. So there you have it. All right. So I'll see you next week. In fact, on Thursday, I'll be back at my normal Thursday webinar. And hopefully you've registered for that as well. Look out for that. And if you're not on any of my good groups where you're getting information, I'm just going to type in my WhatsApp here, and you can just WhatsApp text me. There we go. And then I'll join you on one of them, or Telegram, Jane Mackenzie 365 Healthy by Choice. That's an open one, and anything gets put on there. So I look forward to hearing some feedback from all of you on the successes. I can tell you our reset program it's a given. You're going to shape up and ship out what's not serving you anymore, surrender to it, and just quantum leap forward. So we always want to be working in tune with nature-made products, which is the 365 Healthy by Choice range, and the body's innate ability to heal. You give the body a chance to heal, it will. So, more of these videos on my YouTube channel. Like them, comment, subscribe, etc. Be first to hear. Subscribe to the Thursday webinar too, because you'll get the automatic replay. Come in on the groups, ask the questions, and, let's all learn and move together. Time is precious, and I'll leave it with that.